Put your key back in. And you close the rear door. Now, you should be on page 9. This is the most critical part of your test. You can get everything right from the start of this windshield all the way around to the point we are now. Screw up on this page and you automatically fail. So, on the top of your paper, everybody, I want you to write this.
Oh shit.
Go get it. I'll wait on you. Go ahead. Everybody have a pen.
What do you want us to write out?
I want you to write across the top of page 9 in large letters T A P P
P.
P
Two
P
P's. Okay.
S caps T A P P S. All right, now this is what that stands for, so you don't forget. Because I've seen people just get in this seat and just go. All right, so T is for tug test. Your tug test checks your parking brake. That's why you do the tug test. You check to make sure if your parking brake works. Okay? A is for your applied test. Your applied test checks to make sure there are no air leaks in your brake system. The PP, we'll do it together. Pump down 1.
You said pump down?
Pump down. Pump. Pump down 1. When the your air pressure gets down between 60 and 80 psi, you will get a warning buzzer and a warning light. I was talking about this earlier. This is where you pull this coach over to a safe position and park it. Pump down 2 is when the parking brake will pop up when the coach gets around 20 to 40 psi. And S is your service brake check. What does the service brake do? Stop the coach. Those are the 5 brake tests you would do for your CDL pre-trip. Okay? So, in order to start your brake test, first thing you want to do is make sure your seatbelt was on, your doors closed, and that your air pressure is at governor cutout, which is between 120 and 140 psi. Everybody see that at the top of their page.
Dog test?
Keep it straight across. Okay? All right. Now, even though you just did those things, they're telling you to do it again because you did all of those things when you finished your wheelchair round. But now you're doing it again. Okay? All right. So, doors closed, seatbelt on, air pressure is at governor cutout, which is between 120 and 140. So, first thing you want to do is make sure your parking brake is up. You want to apply your service brake. You want to turn your fast idle off and put your coach in drive. Now, I know your paper says parking brake up, fast idle off, foot on the service brake, then put it in drive. Make it simple. Brake, brake, fast idle, drive. So parking brake up, service brake on, fast idle off, coach in drive. Now you want to slowly remove your foot from the service brake and put it on the accelerator. Put it on the accelerator, give it a little gas. Feel it tugging? That's why they call it a tug test. The bus is tugging to move, but we are proving a point that our parking brake works because the coach doesn't move. Okay? Therefore, your tug test works fine. Or works properly. Now, your next test is the applied test. But, before you do the applied test, there are 4 things you need to do. It's called NOOP. NOOP is not a test. It's just a setup. That's why it's not in your taps. So, you have to set the coach up so you can do the rest of your test. So, N is for neutral. You put your coach in neutral. O, the first O, is to turn your coach off. All the way. The next O is to turn your coach on, but don't start it. Put it in day run. And P is to push your parking brake down. Now, you want to slowly remove your foot from the service brake, which you put your foot back on here when you finish your tug test, and take your foot all the way off. Now, what's my next test?
Applied.
Applied. So, I'm going to apply the service brake. I'm going to hold it for 1 minute to make sure I don't lose more than 3 psi within that 1 minute. My primary and secondary needles are at about 80 psi right now. Okay, I'm going to hold that for 1 minute, starting right now. While we are practicing, I will not have you hold this for a minute. Once,
He said with
yeah, that takes too long. But when you test, you will hold it for the complete minute. Make sure you have a watch with a second hand or the countdown. All right? While we're practicing, you'll hear me say this, 59, 60. So, release my parking brake. I will check my primary and secondary needles, which are still at 80 psi. Therefore, my applied test passed. I did not lose more than 3 psi within that 1 minute. All right. My next test will be pump down 1 and pump down 2. In pump down 1, I'll be looking for my low air warning light and buzzer to come on between 60 and 80 psi. I will continue pumping my brake until my parking brake pops up between 20 and 40. But because I know these coaches, they should pop up between 50 and 60. You have to say that. Write it on your paper if it's not already on there. 50 and 60. I will start my test now. Okay? My low air warning light came on at 70 psi. See that? Low air? Low air warning light came on at about 70 psi. Pump down 1 pass. Now we can continue to pump for pump down 2. Alright, my parking brake popped up at 60 psi. So therefore pump down 2 pass. So pump down 1 and pump down 2 pass. My next test will be my service brake test. But before I perform my service brake test, here's a quiz for you guys. I have 3 things to do. I'm going to start my coach. How many things did I teach you that you had to do to start the coach?
4.
So, how come I only got to do 3 now?
Because we don't need to know.
night run.
Huh?
We don't need night run.
We need
Yes,
the
I
night-
do.
We don't need the day.
We need the fast idle.
We don't need the day.
Yes, I do.
We don't need the daylight, I guess.
Why not?
Because we're
You already
practicing.
got your knob turn
Yeah.
one time.
Because it's already in day run. That's where the buzzer's coming from. Remember? When it's off, it says nothing. Day run, you get that buzzer.
So,
So-
there you go, day.
The buzzer's already done. Day run is already done. So all I'm going to do is start my coach. That's 2.
Then fast idle.
Last idle. And night run. Those are my 3. Okay? Alright, so right now, I have to wait until my air pressure builds up between 100 and 120 psi. That's normal operating range. Coach ain't gonna move until I get there anyway. So while I'm waiting, I'm gonna take the seatbelt off. I'm gonna open my door. I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna get my chalk. Come back in. Put my chalks down. Put the seatbelt back on. Close my door. Now I'm gonna drive forward at 5 miles an hour. I'm gonna apply the service brake. The coach should stop and should not pull to the left or the right. End of my test. I'm done. Yay, I passed.
What were you talking about your chalk and all?
Huh?
The chalk.